I'm not gonna lie. Today's video is a roller coaster ride. Oh my gosh. It starts off stressful as all hell in the beginning, but it has a happy ending. I promise you it has a happy ending. It's a very intense video. It's very crazy. We did something that I never thought that I would be doing, and I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you guys watch to the very end, because what happens in the very end, I am filming this intro after we get home, and today was just an absolute cluster. It was insane, as I'm sure you guys can tell from the title of this video. One positive note, though, is that we met so many of you guys today. A lot of you guys saw me in the park today, and you guys came up to me and you said hello. A lot of people asked for pictures, which was absolutely fantastic. You guys said so many kind things about the channel and the videos. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, guys, if you see me wandering around the park, feel free to come up and say hi to me. I don't bite. I'm more excited to see you than you are to see me, I promise you, because I love to see the people that are behind the lens in front of me. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. It's really crazy. I hope you enjoy it. It was a very stressful day, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Oh dear Jesus, what have I gotten myself into? So we got in line to park our car at about just after 9:10 is when we got in, and it's actually 9:20 right now, so we've been waiting for about 10 minutes, so not terrible, but we're slowly creeping along. So because I have nothing better to do while I'm waiting, I decided to go on to the Universal app and to see what the situation was looking at, and yeah, at capacity. What? At capacity? What? Like, you can go in there and it says no return times available. So I'm hoping that this is a situation like Hagrid's where they release virtual times throughout the day. But as of right now, it's showing that they're at capacity, and I'm a little concerned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are at Universal Studios, as you guys probably already know. It is about 9:30 right now. It took us about 20 minutes to park, and unfortunately, I couldn't be here earlier. We are here today because it is the very first day that Universal Studios is offering 2 of their haunted houses that we were supposed to get this year for Halloween Horror Nights 30. Now, yesterday was a premiere pass holder preview and a team member preview. Today is the very first day that general admission guests are able to get in. It's about 9:30 right now. The park opened 30 minutes ago, and I'm already seeing pictures on Twitter that the haunted houses are at capacity for the day. It's 9:30, and the signs went out at 9:20. I hope to God that this is not the case where Universal is literally screwing over every other guest that wasn't here at Rope Drop. I know the early bird gets the worm, and I know that we should have gotten here earlier, but being here at Rope Drop is not feasible for everyone. It's not possible for everyone. There's so many things that could make it so that families can't be here at Rope Drop, and other families just want to come throughout the day. So the fact that this is supposedly a one weekend only thing, and it's 9:30 in the morning, 30 minutes after the park opened, and the virtual queues are already at capacity, that's a problem. That's a problem to me. So we'll see. We're gonna be here literally all day, and we're gonna do our best to experience at least one of these houses. But I'm kind of excited to go inside and see what's going on, and I'm excited to see how Universal handles this. I'm just praying that this is a Hagrid situation where they release virtual times throughout the day, but I already saw someone post a screenshot that they have a return time for 6:15 p.m. tonight. Oh my God, this is gonna be a very interesting day, guys. We literally just parked and a lot has happened, so come along. Alrighty, so we are coming up on temperature screening, and quite a line. The reason why I chose to stand in one of these lines is because there are physical distancing markers. Physical distancing is not too much of a thing here on the moving walkways. You know, people are kind of doing their best to do it, but you know, the distancing is not as good over there as it is over here. And there it is. As soon as we pass temperature check, there's a sign out here letting guests know that the haunted houses are at capacity. So I'm not entirely convinced that we're going to be able to go through the houses today. By the way, it took us less than 10 minutes to get our temperature check, so now we are in line for security. Security check, very efficient, moves very quickly. I'm very impressed with this. Okay, so on the outside, it looks really chaotic, but it moves pretty efficiently. There are a couple issues with social distancing, but other than that, it was very quick, very efficient, so I'm super impressed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Universal Orlando Resort. Took us a little while to get in, and we may not accomplish our mission today, but we'll tough it out and we'll see exactly what we can get done today. We have another A-frame out here in front of the Coca-Cola TV thingy. You're good. In front of the Coca-Cola TV thingy. And just letting you guys know, haunted houses are at capacity. This is just before you split off to go to either Universal or Islands of Adventure. One other thing that I want to say is that, oh my god, it feels good outside right now. Like, it doesn't feel nearly as humid as it has been the last couple days. So I'm sure that's going to change rapidly as the sun gets up high in the sky. It's just before 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm sure that's going to change, but holy moly, it feels good. And again, Universal wants to make it very clear, wants everyone to manage their expectations, that you're probably not going to get inside a haunted house today. There's 2 A-frame signs out here before getting in. A bit of a longer line than usual today at guest services. Not entirely sure if it's all related to guests not being able to get a return time. Not entirely sure. It could be a bunch of other issues, but you know, just something to note that it is a little bit of a longer line than usual. Something similar to what you would see at Hollywood Studios after Rise of the Resistance boarding groups go out and they're gone in 5 minutes. Pretty lengthy line to get into the Today Show Cafe as well. Not very surprised by that at all, to be completely honest with you. It is a Saturday, and I'm not gonna lie, the food here is actually pretty good. All right, this is the crowd going down the main drag for Universal Studios. Minion Mayhem is at a virtual line only right now, so you see a lot of families standing outside hoping to get a virtual return time for that attraction. Shrek 4D at a 400, goodness me. Shrek 4D is at a 100-minute wait still. I mean, better than 400, I guess. But, oh my goodness. One other thing that I want to note for Shrek 4D is that another reason why it may be at a 100-minute wait is that the capacity for that attraction right now is hot garbage, because you got to realize that Halloween Horror Nights uses the second theater as a haunted house. They use that space for haunted houses, so the second theater is still very possibly in haunted house mode. So I'm not very surprised to see Shrek 4D at such a long wait. Alrighty, so over here is the entrance to the very first haunted house, which is Universal Monsters, The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. And there is a sign right up front letting guests know that the attraction is at capacity. They are not entirely sure if more passes are going to be released throughout the day, but just looking at it, the queue is not very full at all. They definitely have it set up to hold a lot more people that are currently in the queue right now. So we'll just have to wait and see. We will be here for pretty much most of the day, most likely until closing, and we will do our best to try and get a return time for at least one of these haunted houses. So yeah, you guys can see the physical distancing markers located all throughout, and guests just basically zigzag their way through here. I've definitely seen this queue much more full, pretty much wall-to-wall people on a regular Halloween Horror Nights night. But you know, with physical distancing and everything, it makes things kind of difficult. So they can only squeeze so many people in here. One thing I am seeing a lot of today are the VIP tour guides. I think that's like pretty much the only way to guarantee yourself entrance inside any of these haunted houses is to pay extra for the VIP guide. I'm seeing quite a few of them here today. So not too far away from the Universal Tribute Store, which is right there, we have a stand over here with a bunch of other Halloween Horror Nights merchandise. Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein the Universal Monster shirt, and we have other Jack shirts and merchandise as well. So quite a few things here at this little cart. I'm definitely seeing a lot of people on their phones. Either they're trying to get a return time for Jimmy Fallon, or they're trying to get a return time for one of the haunted houses, but I genuinely don't think that people are going to be lucky today. So over here, just outside of the New York Public Library, is the entrance to Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. They do have a lot of team members out front making sure that guests have their return times before letting them into the queue. And right over here, Universal Halloween Horror Nights Tribute Store. The line extends down there and comes all the way back. Not entirely sure if they're sending guests out that way. I don't think so. I think that guests are just able to just walk right on up. So there is a brand new U-Rest area over here across the way from Revenge of the Mummy, which is really much so needed because you have the food truck over there and another food truck down there, and you can come out here and they have different tables set up and there's shady areas. So a nice new place to remove your mask and relax for a little bit. And not surprising in the slightest, Transformers is using an extended queue. They're using that building over there where normally during Halloween Horror Nights you would see a massive bar area over there. So there's a bunch of guests in there, and it looks like they also have additional space set up out here on the street too, with all these different stanchions and switchbacks with social distancing markers on the ground. Also, yes, one thing that I forgot to mention is that guests can wear costumes. So we got Beetlejuice and the other chick. I've only seen Beetlejuice once. A wee bit busier out here outside of Diagon Alley. Not super crazy though. I've definitely, again, seen it much worse. Let's head on inside and take a quick peek on what the situation is like inside. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. It is pretty close to 11 o'clock in the afternoon. The park opened at 9, so could definitely be worse. I'm actually very surprised. And because it is so close to 11 o'clock, we have the Leaky Cauldron that is opening up. So no surprises here that there is a bit of a line to get inside. Everyone's checking the menu out. I actually think I'm going to head inside Nocturne Alley just so that I can get a little bit of AC. It actually looks like the line is supposed to come out over here into Nocturne Alley, but people just kind of took it upon themselves just that way. So this is very interesting. According to Orlando Informer, both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure have hit capacity. Parking garages are closed and hotel guests can still get in. But oddly enough, it's not reflected in the app. Normally you would see it down here, I think, that the parks are at capacity, but no, I'm not seeing anything. I am happy to report, however, that for the most part, mask wearing is pretty on point. Mask wearing is pretty on point. There are, of course, the few, bad apples out there that I'm seeing throughout the park with their noses hanging out or just not wearing a mask, period. But about 90% of the guests here in the park that I'm seeing are wearing their mask properly, which is really good to see. And pretty much anywhere in Diagon Alley that you could possibly get a butterbeer has a pretty lengthy queue. This one's stretching all the way down here. I mean, granted, butterbeer isn't the only thing that you can get at this location by the blacksmith, but it is another popular location for butterbeer. It's funny how there's a sign out here because Fast and Furious is closed, but the gift shop at the exit of the attraction is open. So they have a sign out here pretty much saying, hey guys, don't forget about us, we're open too. Come inside, buy some stuff, please. I beg you. So we got quite a few people moving on down over here between Transformers and Diagon Alley. But back out here by Fast and Furious, pretty empty. No one around here. First aid's pretty empty. There's some shady benches over here, and there's some tables over here that are currently in the shade. So plenty of room to space out in activities over here, but people for the most part are just sticking to the one general path. It is getting really toasty really quick out here, so a lot of people are congregating in the shade where they can. It looks like that's mostly a rather large family celebrating a birthday over there. So I guess that's not bad, but coming on down over here, goodness me, holy cow. So this is the line for Revenge of the Mummy. It stretches all the way out over here. What in the world is happening? Holy crap. Hold on. We got to get a look at this. We got to get a look at this. There's a dude out here with a megaphone saying that this is the end of the line. Wow. Okay, so the line zigzags out from the building, zigzags over here, and comes down this way. You guys have a virtual line tag? Comes down all the way over here. Holy cow. It goes all the way the heck down there by the entrance to the tribute store and then circles back around and comes all the way back down here. That is insane.
Be covering your mouth and nose at all times, even during the ride of Revenge of the Mummy. Keep you everyone really appreciate it. 6 feet is required, so keep your arms stretched out, keep that separation going. You do not need to fill in all available space. We ask that you keep 6 feet between the front of your head and behind you.
Alrighty, it is going on 12 o'clock right now. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning and I haven't eaten jack squat. So, now is the mission to try and find some place that is relatively indoors with a short line. Also, one other thing that I want to note, and that's really impressive, is that about 15 minutes later, after I filmed that clip of the massive line out here, it's gone. It's gone. So that's very interesting, very impressive. Most impressive. You know, this morning when I was planning out my outfit, wearing black seemed like a good idea because we were supposed to be going inside haunted houses. And when we come to Halloween Horror Nights, I typically wear black. Now that I am here during the day, not going into any haunted houses, I regret everything. I am sweating my nalgas off. Oh dear God, I regret everything. The line for Mel's wraps around the building. And I can already see the line for Cafe La Bamba stretching out the door as well. Oh boy. I'm about to go hungry for a few more hours. Holy mother of Bamba. There's a pretty lengthy queue to get inside Cafe La Bamba. Wow. I can only imagine how long the estimated wait time is. But my goodness, I think it's safe to say I will attempt to come back later. And yeah, I think it's safe to say I found the end of the queue for Mel's Drive-In. So right back here by Williams of Hollywood, the line stretches up and around the building. Pretty long line as well to get inside the annual pass holder lounge. Is there like something new that I'm missing, or I don't know. Could just be a long line for buttons. Who knows? Holy cow, guys, breaking news. I am actually shaking right now. Virtual lines are back. You guys have no flippin' idea how relieved I am that we got a virtual time. I got both houses within 2 hours of each other. So I have 12 to 12:30 for Bride of Frankenstein, I think, and then 1 to 1:30 for Tooth Fairy. Holy cow, I'm super excited. Shout out to the lady that was standing next to me. I'm over here by the restrooms by guest services, and I'm just sitting here chilling in the corner, and there was a lady over here next to me who was like, oh my God, I got a virtual queue, and I'm like, what? Huh? Sorry, excuse me, what? And I went on my phone, and sure enough, there were a lot of times available. So that is fantastic. I had a feeling that it was going to be like a Hagrid situation where they were going to release times throughout the day, but it's definitely not as frequent as Hagrid's is. But my God, I am so happy that I got a return time for the houses, so I can give you guys a review. Crisis averted. And now the next problem is that Coda is supposed to come here later on today. She wanted to come today as well. So let's just hope we have a repeat and we actually manage to get her inside the houses. Alrighty, it is now 12 o'clock. We are now able to get in line for Bride of Frankenstein. I'm super excited. I just used the restroom over there because I don't exactly know how long I'm gonna be in the line. I've heard things from anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, so not entirely sure how long we're gonna be in that line for. All right, guys, food is gonna have to wait. It's time to get spooky. Alrighty, time to head on in. Thank you. All right, now let's go ahead and set a timer and see, well, a stopwatch, and see exactly how long it takes us to get through this line, which from the looks of it, hopefully it doesn't take that long. So where they're not able to put a please stand here sticker, they're just spray painting on the AstroTurf to signify 6 feet. And there are gaps in between the rows, which is good. It's really good to see. I like that. So not entirely sure how long we're going to be in this queue, but we are in the direct sunlight because there are 0 umbrellas out here for guests to utilize. So thank goodness I brought my own so I can keep a little cool. But the only problem is it's a Disney umbrella, so I'm kind of committing a war crime here at Universal by using a Disney umbrella, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh my God, I smell it. I can smell the horror. Oh yes. Oh my goodness, we're getting ready to head in, and they are making sure that everyone gets a squirt of hand sanitizer before heading inside. I will be sure to let you guys know what I think when I'm done. And just so you guys know, they do have team members out here with QR codes so that you can take a survey about your haunted house experience when you're done. Just so you guys know, from the time I got into the queue to the time I exited the house, less than 20 minutes. Not bad at all. So while I was waiting in the queue for Bride of Frankenstein, I managed to get a second return time for later on in the afternoon. The only problem is I meant to make it for 2. I was in such a panic when I saw the return time that I clicked it, and by the time I realized it was too late, you know, it already cycled through and gave me a QR code for one person. So we're gonna try and get Coda into this house later on, and I'm still gonna, you know, try my best to change it later on, which I'm sure I'll be able to, but yeah, we'll try. Okay, so I just got out of Universal Monsters The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Holy cow, that was terrifying. I basically went through the house by myself. I had a team member behind me. He was wearing a plexiglass shield. He was keeping pretty close behind me. I guess it was because I was by myself that he was walking behind me. I don't know what the situation was, but either way, I was pretty much walking through the house by myself. And wow, wow, that was very unique and very, very interesting. It was fun. It was fun. I had a blast. There is, you know, you hear people talk about the plexiglass. There is a lot of plexiglass throughout. However, it's not really distracting. I didn't really notice the plexiglass too much, but because I go into haunted houses so much, I learned to recognize boo holes real quickly. So I know more or less where scare actors are going to come from. And there were times where I could tell where a scare actor was supposed to come from and where they weren't, because you could see plexiglass. So there was that. So I guess to the untrained eye, it might give away a few of the scares, because you might know where they're coming from. But other than that, it was a very fun house. Not the longest house I've ever been in. It was a relatively quick house, but I have no complaints for it. The set design was great. The costumes were great. The scare actors did an amazing job. They were all wearing face masks, and if they weren't wearing a visible face mask, they had prosthetics. And some of them, they had face masks, but they had prosthetics built into it. So they were wearing face masks, but it had like a face in it or something, like scary teeth, and it was really interesting. It's very hard to describe, very hard to explain, but that was a fantastic house, and I had so much fun with it. And going through it by myself added a whole new level of scare factor to it, because again, by yourself, everything's always scarier when you're by yourself. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to go back through it later with Coda and see what she thinks. Also, one more thing I want to add. It's super nice to smell the Halloween Horror Nights Foggy, and like you walk into a haunted house and it just has that smell to it. It smells so good. You can smell it even before you get inside the haunted house, and it just gets the anticipation going, and oh my god, it was so nice. A lot of folks hanging out front of the entrance to the houses with their phones out, trying to get a return time. So whenever return times do become available, they go quickly. Hello.
There you go, go right ahead.
Thank you very much. Alrighty, now, just like we did last time, we're gonna go on through. Let's go ahead and reset this, start it, and we'll see exactly how long it takes. Ooh, very interesting. Plenty of room for activities back here. Hello. Plenty of room for activities back here. You can see the queue stretches out all the way down there and all the way back here, but looks like we're not gonna have much of a wait at all, which is good. Oh my gosh, we're not gonna have much of a wait at all. I think we are literally about to just walk right into the house with zero wait. What the heck? Oh yeah, so many people hanging out in front of the house is trying to get a return time. By the way, from the time I got into the queue to the time that I got out, just under 9 minutes. Fantastic. The biggest struggle that I'm seeing now is trying to find some place to eat that doesn't A, have a really long line, and B, I won't be forced to sit outdoors. That's the problem that I'm seeing right now, and I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do, because I am stubborn and I don't feel like waiting in a really long line that is outside. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. I know I really should be eating a meal, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. Oh, thank the maker, I have a table and I got here just in time. The line out the door. So I've been sitting here chowing down on my milkshake, and I realized that I didn't even get a chance to talk to you guys about Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. That was fun. That was a very fun house. I really enjoyed the storyline of Tooth Fairy a lot more than Bride of Frankenstein. I knew what was going on in Bride of Frankenstein, but Tooth Fairy's storyline was so much more interesting, and the facade for both houses was great, but the facade for Tooth Fairy was very interesting. It's like going inside of a storybook, for the lack of better description. it's very much like walking into a storybook, and there's a lot of animated set pieces within the facade, and the creatures inside were very interesting, and the visuals. They're making a milkshake. And the visuals in that house were absolutely fantastic. Very gory and gruesome house, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And in that house though, a lot of the scare actors were behind what looked like a plastic shower curtain. Like it was a very clear plastic shower curtain, not instead of plexiglass, which was very interesting. It didn't take away from it at all, but it was so cool. And I'm very pleased to see that Universal found a way to make it work. They found a way to make all the scares work, which was fantastic. The only issue is that the scare actors don't get as close to you as they normally do. So if you're a fan of that, you know, don't expect to see that this year. But I'm very excited. And I was lucky enough to snag some more virtual queues for later on today when Coda gets here. When she gets off of work at 2, she'll be heading over here, and we already got return times to go back inside the houses. So I'm super excited to get her review later on. All right, I gotta bite the bullet at some point. I need to get some physical food in my body because I'm starting to feel it. Just after 2 o'clock, and this is the line situation for Bride of Frankenstein. Doesn't look really much that bad at all. As you guys can see, the crowds are still holding. As of 2 o'clock, the park is still at capacity, supposedly. So this is what an at capacity day looks like. And it's not even a holiday. I don't want to wait. Look at this line, it's so long, just to get inside Louis. I don't want to wait, but I have to. Oh, it's still going. All right, let's go ahead and give Lombard's a shot. I know it's a sit-down place, but it's better than waiting an hour for quick service. All right, so I was just getting ready to head inside Lombard's to try and get some lunch, and I met Gavin and who else? Ryan. Awesome, nice to meet you guys. And you guys just gave us some information on what to expect for the houses. So do you want to go ahead and tell the folks what you heard?
In 2 weeks, 2 more houses will be coming to Halloween Horror Nights, and then in October, 2 more houses will be coming here.
All right, that's 4 more houses. So in case you guys didn't hear, it was in 2 more weeks, 2 more houses, and then in October, 2 more houses. So a total of 4 more houses coming. So hopefully, thank you guys so much for that information. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the most frustrating thing is the long lines for anything food or drink related. Any of the little carts or stands or whatever, it's at least 15 minutes in the heat, if not longer. And then the quick service locations like Mel's, it's even longer than that. And Universal's, you know, they tweeted me and they're like, oh, just use your mobile order. Mobile ordering doesn't do jack squat if you still are forced to wait 15 to 30 minutes just to get seated, only then to have your meal made. Don't do anything. And I've been tweeting out pictures. All the quick service stands, the stands that sell like corn dogs and crap like that. Long lines. I stood at one for 10 minutes, barely moved. I walked out. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Hunger is setting in. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning and I haven't had anything solid to eat because from the time I got here to now, all the lines for anything food or drink related has been long. And I know what you guys are gonna say, Adrian, it's a Saturday. What else did you expect? The park is at capacity. Yeah, I knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't think it would be that extreme. There's a reason why we haven't come to Universal Studios on a Saturday since this whole, you know, pandemic reopening. Don't come on a Saturday, for the love of God. If you can avoid it, do not come on a Saturday. And to top everything else off, the heat isn't making things any better. It's really hot right now. Really, really hot and humid. I wouldn't mind waiting 15, 20 minutes. You know, it'd still suck, but I wouldn't mind waiting it in as much because the weather would be cooler. If it wasn't so hot, I wouldn't care. But because it's hot, no. So I'm in a U-Rest area right now, waiting for Coda to show up, and she's almost here. So I'm trying to pull up our QR code, but it's not letting me. I think the app is glitching out for whatever reason, because we're supposed to be doing Tooth Fairy. It says it's at capacity, and normally you'd be able to check somewhere over here that says, you know, virtual line, you know, get a virtual time return, and there's nothing. Even for Revenge of the Mummy, which is a virtual line, it says virtual line, you can't even get a virtual line for it. There's nothing there. And then you come over here to virtual line experience, and normally there's a thing here that says, what is it, virtual line venues, and even says down here, tap virtual line venues to start. But there's nothing there. So this will be interesting. Look who decided to show up. Finally. It's like 4 o'clock now. Do you know how close we are to our what time is it actually?
17.
Okay, we need to get to Tooth Fairy like now. But good God, it took you forever and a day to get here.
Honestly, it took me an hour from work though, and you decided to try and book things an hour from when I got out of work.
Okay, so to be fair, the Tooth Fairy res was the you know, latest that I can get at the time. So, are you excited?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like, no spoilers for you or anything, but it's super different. It's so different. Like, it's no secret that they use plexiglass, but they do it really well. And I was startled several times in the house, and I walked it by myself. So it's basically just gonna be you and I. But no, you're going first, because I had to do it by myself. So now you get to do it with me behind you, laughing. Coda's low-key nervous. We're probably gonna walk right inside the house, so she's not gonna have any time to prepare herself. All right, Coda, the entrance to the house is right here. You ready?
Sure.
First house of the season. I really hope to God that they continue this during weekdays, because this will make life so much easier.
Oh my God, I would be here all the time. I just got real close to your camera.
It's okay, but can you smell it? Just take a big old whiff of that Halloween Horror Nights smell.
Yes, paint and fog.
It's the signature haunted house smell.
Paint and fog.
All right, so first round of Tooth Fairy. What'd you think?
I'm blind right now.
Yeah, honestly. I was kind of disappointed in that second run, because you know, I went through it the first time, and I'm 99% sure I got most, if not all, the scares. But going through a second time, I know that there were scares missing. And you said that it was pretty obvious?
Yeah, like you could see the curtains and like no scare actor, like at all. Does that make sense?
Like you couldn't make out the outline?
Yeah, no. Like, and like the effects didn't go off or anything.
Yeah. So
like that one really dark room.
Yeah, we went quite a ways without a single scare in that one really dark room. But overall, first time going through, what did you think?
It was pretty cool. I'd like to go again. Maybe we can get a later as the sun starts to set. Yeah. And maybe go and see a bit more. But from what I saw, it was pretty cool. Like the masks were cool.
Yeah, I am kind of disappointed. That was a pretty bad run through. And then there were like several times in the house where we were stopped because for some reason the line was backing up or whatever, and the attendants were stopping us, which is fine. That's how they, you know, keep guests separated, but still, it really throws off the flow of the house.
Yeah, we got stopped by a couple, but like there were more people that were like, oh, keep going, and like I can see them.
Yeah.
If I keep going,
we will be conga lining.
Yes.
So it's like what, the second day, so I guess they're still trying to run out the kinks, but overall I still really like that house. I like the set design, I like the story, and I like the costuming. It's very easy to follow. All right, Universal, can you do me a huge favor and tell me why you made it so that these sharks yell bonjour at everybody? Like, why does this shark look French? I don't understand it. They all look French. Okay, so we had a return time for Bride of Frankenstein, and now it looks like they're just opening the floodgates.
We're now open for everyone.
The Bride is now open for everyone without any reservation time. Please come in and join the Bride of Frankenstein.
I gotta say, this is very unexpected, because like they literally had someone out front with a megaphone saying, hey, come on inside, it's open, no reservations required. And now we're just kind of freely walking in, and so is everyone else. We're not entirely sure if Universal did this on purpose, like if they're testing it, or whether it really was as a result of the app crashing and guests being unable to make further reservations for the day. So I don't know. We'll see, but we've been in line for like, what, not even 5 minutes, and we're almost there?
I'm like 4.
Yeah, so we're almost there. So, I mean, hopefully this goes quick. This line is moving suspiciously quick, so I'm very curious to see how the pacing of the house is. These curtains give us so much anxiety. You guys know what I'm talking about. Curtains on either side. Alrighty, just got done with Bride of Frankenstein. I'm kind of upset. We went through the house and I guess we were in the middle of a cast change because there were like 5 boo holes at the very beginning that I got, you know, scared last time that weren't there for Coda. So thankfully we can hop back in line and do it again. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna hop back in line, go back through the house again and see if we can get some of those missing scares because that annoyed me. That annoyed me. So Coda, what are your initial thoughts on Bride of Frankenstein? I know the beginning was a little choppy.
I mean, the plexiglass in this one, like there was a lot of it and not enough, you know, scares.
Yeah.
So like it was just anxiety inducing, like, oh god, where are they?
And there are a few spots where there's no actor, like there's not supposed to be an actor there, but they do put plexiglass. So it's like entirely possible that there could be an actor there, but there hasn't been. So it is anxiety inducing. So, I mean, this was your most anticipated house, I think.
It was cool. The storyline was cool. Not that it's like spoon-fed to you like Tooth Fairy.
Like Tooth Fairy, yeah.
But like if you follow, like if you can pick up on it, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's more scares this time.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, we're allowed to just go right back in. So this is my 3rd time doing Bride of Frankenstein today. We're just heading on in. No reservations required. I love it. And I'm very surprised, like no one's really in line. So I guess after this, we're gonna head on over to Tooth Fairy again.
Sure, if it's open.
If it's open. I would assume it is too. We got a cast change going on for Bride of Frankenstein. You can see one of the Franks right there. Heading on in. Look at those clunky shoes. Good God.
Hi, I'm gonna just kind of...
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Those shoes are massive. I am so flippin' thankful that we can go through these houses multiple times. That was a much better run through.
With 5-minute waits.
With 5-minute waits.
Not 2-hour waits.
Like, how often does that flippin' happen where you can go through these haunted houses with only a 5-minute wait, if that? That was incredible. And then, you know, we're going through the houses and Coda's telling me and pointing things out.
He says,
hey,
hey,
how's it going? So, like, Coda's pointing things out that I'm not noticing. I'm pointing things out that she's not noticing. It's flipping awesome. So we're gonna head on back over to Tooth Fairy and see if we can ride that one.
Ride?
But holy cow, or ride. We're gonna ride the Tooth Fairy, take that as you will. But the park closes at 8, and I'm assuming the haunted houses are open until 8. But holy cow, I am super happy that this is happening. One thing that I also want to mention though, you know, a little bit of a disclaimer. I think this is a one-off thing. I think. Don't expect to come here tomorrow or whenever these are open during the day again and expect to get into these haunted houses towards the end of the day all willy-nilly, because the app was legitimately having issues earlier today and it was crashing and nobody was able to make a return time reservation. So I think that this is a one-off thing. I just want you guys to be aware of that. Oh my gosh, it looks like we're having another less than 5-minute wait for Tooth Fairy. Another fantastic run through. Another fantastic run through of Tooth Fairy. I don't think we're gonna go in line again. They did do a cast change, so the line backed up just a little bit and it is starting to drizzle. So not entirely sure. It's sprinkling. But but that was a solid run through. I love that house. I love it. I can't tell which one I like more. I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's Tooth Fairy. I like the storyline more, but Bride is still very fun. Don't get me wrong. Bride is very, very fun. I'm so thankful that we got to go through these houses multiple times. Like, how often would you be able to do that on a regular Halloween Horror Nights night, where you could just go through the houses multiple times? Like, that doesn't happen very often at all. So super thankful for that. You can tell a lot of people here are feeling the exact same way. You see people like running from house to house, and I love it. Oh dear God, rest in peace scare actors. A whole group of high school kids are going in. If you're a scare actor, then you know how much they you know how annoying high school kids can be. RIP scare actors. Oh, they're gonna hate that group. You know, it wouldn't be an opening night of Halloween Horror Nights ish without at least a little bit of rain. I kind of like this shot. It's really nice. It's very artsy. with the rain and the lights and everything. Looks nice, but I think it's safe to say we gotta head out of here. So the park hasn't quite closed yet. It's almost there, but the TMs are still telling people, hey, come on in. So there's pretty much no line. I don't see anybody in the queue at all. So this has been an awesome night. I said this once and I will say it again. Make sure you always have an extra shirt and a towel in your car. It started pouring rain and I just kind of accepted my fate. You're probably thinking, Adrian, you had an umbrella earlier in the video, did you not? And you were right. You were very right. However, you know, as you guys probably noticed, Coda came to the park too. Guess what Coda forgot to bring? An umbrella, a rain jacket, anything to keep her from getting wet. So, out of the kindness of my heart, I gave my umbrella to her. And I just kind of accepted my fate. I just accepted my fate. And I got back to the car. I was soaking wet, my shoes going... It was bad. It was very bad. But, holy cow. That was a roller coaster of a day. Like, first of all, if you're still watching this video up until this point, thank you so much. I honestly appreciate you guys. Whoever makes it down this far. Actually, I want to know how many people made it this far. If you made it this far, first of all, leave a like on the video and drop a comment and put the color blue in the comment section so I know that you guys made it this far. Let's see how many comments we got that say blue. Anyways, so yeah, that was an absolute roller coaster of a day. We got here and I was fully prepared to not be able to go inside any of those haunted houses. And then by the end of the day, we had free reign of the haunted houses and we went through them multiple times this evening and that was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it was, again, complete luck that it happened because the app glitched out. So no one was able to make a reservation. So don't expect that if you come. I mean, it's great if it happens if you come, but I wouldn't expect that if you do come. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This was absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys thought of today's video down in the comment section below. I am going to be making a completely separate video, basically summarizing my experience, and I have a lot to say, and I have a lot on my mind. And this video is already long enough, I'm sure. So I will have another video going out very soon of my thoughts on today's experience at Universal Studios on a Saturday on an at capacity day. So this is rough. Well, anyways, I have an hour drive home. I definitely stayed here a lot longer than I expected because we weren't expecting the houses to open up to just everybody. But thank you guys so much again for watching today's video. Let me know what you guys thought of today's video down in the comment section below. If you do want to get a shout out in each and every single one of our videos, then please hit that join button down below, become a tier 3 member of the Express Squad, and you will see your name in each and every single one of our videos to come in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.